Hey guys, Ryan Dement. I hope you're having a great day. It's Thursday, and this morning I woke up to a news story that popped on all the major news channels about the 30-year mortgage rate just hit 5%, which means it hasn't done that since 2011, I think is what it said. And 5% is still cheaper than 100% of rent. But the other thing is, I talk about it. I know you guys are not in it, but the price of lumber is starting to come down. So we'll start seeing some relief there. So we could see, once the home builders pretty much liquidate their inventory of standing inventory, or excuse me, standing homes, or people buy out, we could see some relief there because ultimately they're going to want to move houses. So they're not going to leave these prices sky high. They'll start coming down, but you will have to offset that with a 5% interest rate. Now, don't get me wrong, 5% is still cheap, just not dirt cheap like we've been used to at 2.5%. You as a potential home buyer, you have to decide what you want to do when it comes to that. But this is all back to budgeting. This is all back to, can I afford a mortgage on a monthly basis, or do I need to continue to stay renting? Budget, budget, budget. Because this will be the challenge that people are going to try to get into this housing market, and they're going to think, oh my gosh, I can actually buy a house. But then once you get down to the budget piece and they still have challenges with their debt, guess what's going to happen? They will not be able to buy a home. Their debt to income ratio means too much debt, not enough income. But if you can actually lower your debt and start paying it off, you put yourself in a much stronger position for a lender to approve you for a mortgage. We're back to the old adage, take that first step. You have your budget in place. You have to continue to focus on your debt. You've identified your debt, the one debt that you want to start paying off, and your discretionary spending. You've completely got rid of it, and you are actually working through the process of adding that money into that debt to pay it off sooner, to get those quick wins. The other piece that I want to talk about really quick, guys, is as inflation continues to grow, we talked about it the other day, we're at 8.5%. The Fed will continue to raise rates. They're talking about 50 basis points, 0.50 for the Fed rate lending rate. Well, when that happens, things are still going to be expensive because you still have inflation. Inflation will not come down until there's less money chasing goods and services. And right now, it really isn't happening. People are still spending money because they're not being prepared adequately for inflation hitting their pocketbooks. They're still living a little bit in the past on a lag. You don't want to be there, because ultimately this will all come to roost if you're putting it on credit cards, because your hard-earned money will not go as far as it was before. It could be easier to pay off debt because the debt will be less than, it'll be worth less than it was before. But when your lender raises your interest rate on your credit card, that's all negated and gone. So you need to be careful on your spending. You need to start looking at making sure you have an emergency fund, savings account, however you want to call it, $1,000 in there. And then the other piece that you need to worry about is get as much debt off the books and pay it off as quickly as you can. It is not going to be easier coming down the road, because inflation doesn't just walk away. It doesn't walk into our life one day and then walk away the next. It's here to stay for months. No one can tell you when, but it's here to stay for a while. So you need to be prepared. You have the tools, you have the knowledge. Now you just need to go do it. All right, guys, I hope you have a good day. That's it for this one. Stay safe, stay healthy, have conversations. It is okay to disagree. I'll see you guys on the other side.